Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to our Sunday Dhamma Talk series. Hello everyone, welcome to our Dhamma Talk series. And today we have special guest Bhante, but everyone knows him already. Bhante Ananda, Venerable Bhikkhu Ananda, the General Secretary of Maha Bodhi Society, Bangalore. I'm so happy to see you again after a while. And
Yes, Bhante.
yes, I always have still fresh memories
Yes,
with my
Bhante.
visit last time to your wonderful, wonderful um, Dhamma Center in Mahabodhi and also in Hyderabad. Um, yes, really happy to see you again, dear Bhante Ananda. And today's topic is inner peace in a turbulent world. But the world today is really in a turmoil, as you mentioned. It's really everywhere. People are not really happy. People have a lot of stress, and countries, different parts of the world, we can see how they are not doing very well. They
Yes.
have a lot of issues. Countries fighting inner struggles, and also country to country, there are a lot of issues. So I think today's topic um, can be very helpful. Um, so with that, we will come back to the discussion later on. So I would like to respectfully invite our dear Bhante Bhikkhu Anand, the General Secretary of Mahabodhi Society, Bangalore, to start the Dhamma session today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namami. Homage to the Triple Gem, homage to our teacher and all the teachers, homage to our Sumita Bhanteji. It is my great pleasure to see Bhanteji again. And yes, our memories are also very fresh, Bhante, with your presence, your kindness, your very practical Dhamma teachings in all circumstances. Uh, we remember Bhante's very valuable teachings.
Thank
So
you. Thank
very
you.
grateful to Bhante and the Dhamma USA team for inviting me for this today's Dhamma talk. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Bhante. So today's topic we um, we have is about turbulent word and uh, how to be calm and how to cruise through this situation. So first of all, when we say turbulent word, what exactly is this turbulent? Where is this exactly this turbulence going on? And if we see outside, um, we are very heavily bombarded uh, with the informations and the news and other things that lot of conflicts are going on around the world, and uh, and these conflicts are nothing but the reflection of the minds. So there must be inner conflict also, otherwise this outer conflict don't appear. Uh, after all these turbulences, uh, Lord Buddha calls them with different names, that inner turbulences come, they are called like fires. The defilements are called as fires. They are called as floods, ogre. Uh, their uh, their bondages, yoga, and with different words, Lord Buddha explains them how these inner turbulences are going on, and the outer ones are just the reflection of these inner turbulence. So our time, especially um, when we hear with the difficulties, conflicts, and injustice and sufferings that are going on with the present social media and all the different kinds of media, uh, we can see more, we can hear more. In earlier times, uh, even though there used to be a lot of conflicts, we heard quite less of them. And now we hear and see even more. So when these outside things we hear, they also disturb the minds, and especially the minds of people who are peace lovers, who are compassionate, who are sensitive, who are spiritual, who are kind and harmonious. For such people, these turbulent situations make even more, they affect more deeply. And it is natural that we get disturbed with these kinds of um, situations and the feelings that arise out of these kinds of situations. If we go deeply into why these conflicts that are going outside, of course, they are because of our greed, hatred, and ignorance, which uh, take place with the different colors and backgrounds. Some are political in nature, some are religious. Unfortunately, religious. Uh, the history has seen lot of religious wars. It is such a dilemma. It is such a big contradiction. Religions are therefore supposed to be for human wellness, and unfortunately, they have been the causes for many of the wars on this earth and many of the killings. Since there are many of uh, conflicts going on because of economic reasons, uh, because of greed, economic prosperity is driven by greed. Sometimes it is not just need, and then conflicts are there. And then there are sheer conflicts because of human hatred, ethnic hatred, uh, or seeing with impartiality. All these things we are facing, we are hearing, and um, it is not that easy to get a solution because there are so many people involved. And even if sometimes majority people like to find the solutions, even with few people, there can be lot of disturbances. For example, in a family, say there are 4 or 5 people, and one fellow is problematic, and then the whole family atmosphere is spoiled. Uh, Peace of mind for all of them is spoiled. So the small spoil makers need not be many in number. Even with few of them, uh, there can be enough of turmoil. So um, these difficulties, one of the reasons why we 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 are disturbed, or people are making disturbance and people are getting disturbed. Both things are happening. This is one of the reasons is we are not uh, properly educated from the childhood to uh, face these situations uh, in a calm way, in a wisdomful way. Uh, that's why these turmoils can disturb the minds very deeply. They can hurt uh, individuals or the communities very deeply. So this is one area where we 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 have to work. I feel that is how to face these turbulent times. That itself is uh, it itself can be a very practical life education, uh, which can be very well uh, become also the part of our education system. Uh, and then we become sensitive to these things. Now, if we see um, this turbulence, whether when we have this turbulence within ourselves, sometimes because of depression, sometimes sadness, sometimes anger, sometimes hatred, if we deeply see into our hearts, then naturally we see some defilements. And most of the time there is ignorance, there is not knowing, or there is very adamant attachment to our own view. I am right and the others are wrong. I am, uh, my idea has to be uh, followed and implemented within the household or within the family or within the community, within the workplace. So many kinds of these strong views, these viewpoints are really are the some of the real reasons. So if we see deeply into ourselves, whether um, whether we are uh, whether we ourselves have uh, right intention, uh, right intentions in our actions and right intentions in our what we want to do. Uh, okay, sometimes we are clear, our intentions are good, but the others' intentions may be really negative and evil. Uh, even if we see outside, uh, there are uh, many conferences or many meetings or international uh, diplomatic dialogues and this and that. So many are going on, but whether they are doing with right intention, that is very uh, doubtful. Um, so intentions to stop conflicts within ourselves, whether we want to stop conflict within ourselves, we know that to stop conflict outside is not that easy. But whether we want to stop conflict or whether we want to stop um, our suffering, is there that intention? Uh, Many times uh, there are solutions. There are some very easy methods. Some are when we are having difficult problems, there are easy solutions. Sometimes there are difficult solutions. But even when there are easy solutions, people will feel, oh no, I'm not ready for that. That means the intention to solve this conflict itself is not there. Uh, when that happens, then there is no further movement. So what I feel is to develop this intention again and again and again, that I will end conflict within me. I will end conflicts with others, at least because of me. I want to see the end of the conflicts. So this intention, the very beginning intention, if that is clear, then solutions also unfold. But many times we are not prepared for that. Sometimes people come here with problems and they ask for solutions. And the problems are really so simple and so this one uh, easy to solve. But when we suggest, okay, you do like this, then they say, no, I cannot do. So that intention doesn't arise to solve the problem. So one of the ways to remain calm is that our intention itself. I want to be calm. I generate this calmness. I generate solutions. I generate uh, this not uh, complaining. And instead of 100 complaints, better to generate one solution. This attitude is very helpful uh, to develop this calmness. As I told earlier, the views hold on very, very strong. The views decide our reactions. So Lord Buddha, when he taught this Noble Eightfold Path, the very first one is the right view. So when we uh, try to develop even little bit of right view, uh, which begins with very, very fundamental wisdom or understanding of what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. This is the right view. In the right view sutta, Lord Buddha says the very first right view, uh, the ability to see what is wholesome and what is unwholesome, and not what is my view and what is others' view, what is uh, what is my belief or what is others' belief. Beliefs and all these uh, uh, theories and lot of dogmas and all these are nothing but they end up in views ultimately. There is a kind of view and we hold on to that, and with that holding, we react, keep reacting. So this view is very, very dangerous. So instead of having uh, a view which is based on prejudice, based on anger or hatred or jealousy, or based on greed, uh, just to go directly and find out, oh, is it kusala or akusala, wholesome or unwholesome? If it is wholesome, then promote it. If it is unwholesome, try to remove it. So that attitude again, if we develop that attitude, then we don't see the word with prejudice. We don't judge the people based on our beliefs. Instead, we we judge people on the reality of that moment. Sometimes some person might have done something wrong, and in a month or two, that person may be doing a lot of good. But if we judge this good part of his personality with that old wrong impression, then we will not really make right judgments. So that's why Lord Buddha says, what is kusala and what is akusala? If we go by this, then right view will prevail, and um, wrong views, prejudice, all these things we can overcome. So how much of, if we see how much of suffering comes from our viewpoints. It is immense and immense. We are hurt because our views are hurt. In reality, our views are broken. So when we don't have any views, that's the best, nothing to be broken. What we have is just right view. Right view is not a set of belief or concept. It is just what is there. Understanding. It is right understanding. Right view is right understanding, taking things as they are. So this attitude, uh, uh, this approach, we may not become expert or perfect in a day, but at least we can start this approach. That already gives so much of calmness in our minds, because it solves so many of our own inner problems. And even if we have done something wrong with the wrong view, and when we understand, then immediately that understanding, oh, that was wrong. Even that understanding, that wisdom gives a lot of peace. So this is another area where we can, which when we cultivate, can create a lot of calmness in our minds. And then we have, but in spite of all this, uh, one more quality we need to develop, that is patience. Because not all the things go according to our wish. Our wishes forget about outside people, outside situations. Even our own mind doesn't listen. Then what to do? Our own body doesn't listen. What to do? So that they also go against our wishes, what we want to do and what is happening. So sometimes we have to be calm. We have to be patient. For forbearance and forgiveness, that is called khanti. Sahana bhava, khamana bhava iti khanti. To forbear the difficulties, the pains, discomforts, and then forgive. So at that moment you are forgiving. It is not that you are suppressing and um, by force you are controlling. No. For forbearance and forgiving, both are letting go. So this is another very deep practice which Lord Buddha praised again and again. Khanti paramang tapotitikha. He says this practice of patience is highest meditation. Uh, so Lord Buddha himself practiced um, this once this Magandia. There was a lady called Magandia, and uh, she wanted to marry. Her parents also wanted to marry her to the Buddha because of Lord Buddha's very glorious, grand personality. And the Buddha, of course, had gone beyond all this, and he, in fact, advised to see the reality of the body and the parts of the body, how they are. And this Magandia, who was very proud of her beauty, because there used to be offers from some princes and kings to marry her, and she had that arrogance of beauty. And the Lord Buddha here, he used to tell everything is anicca, everything will pass away, and these body parts are not inside. If we open, they are not so uh, beautiful as we imagine. So she felt insulted that the Buddha is not accepting the offer. So she made a uh, vow that when she thought that she'll marry a very powerful person, and once she has power, She will take revenge on the Buddha. And that's what happened. She married Udena, another king, and that king was also very powerful and ferocious. And as a queen, she was waiting. And when Lord Buddha and the Sangha, they came to uh, their country, she hired people. She paid them money. And money for what? Their job was to just go after the Buddha and the monks and keep on abusing. You see? So this went on for days, and but Lord Buddha was very compassionate and kind and forbearing and forgiving. So that quality, uh, uh, Ananda Bhante, who was Lord Buddha's attendant, told Lord Buddha, "Oh Bhagavan, please let us go to another village or town. Here it is so much of nuisance. It is not nice. I can't bear. Lord Buddha is abused, Dhamma is abused, Sangha is abused." Then Lord Buddha asked Ananda Bhante, "Oh Ananda, if we go to another village, and there also if people start abusing and accusing like this, what will you do?" He said, "Oh, we will go to another village. Then if it happens there also." So Lord Buddha said, that is not the solution to run away. Just be calm. We have to forbear. Uh, he says, just like an elephant when it is moving forward, and sometimes the war, some arrows and other things are coming, but still patiently keep moving, keep moving. Uh, that time will also pass away. So it happened after 1 week. People understood and people started saying that how can these people abuse the Buddha and the Sangha when they are so compassionate and peaceful? So then it was stopped. So sometimes uh, we have to overcome some problems with patience and forbearance, not with suppression, but with calm mind to let go. Calm mind, letting go. Uh, and the biggest challenge will be when you have to live patiently with your closest people. If some fellow far away abuses, you don't mind. But when somebody who is so close to you, that person does something bad or something injustice to you, that hurts a lot. Uh, so that is the real testing time. But we have to understand that this will also pass away. This will also pass away. So, like this, if we train our mind, as I told, we are not educated in a normal sense that we don't get education of how to manage these things. And for this now, a lot of these meditation centers, Dhamma centers, and people have think that, oh, we have to go here to learn this. Why did we not learn this as part of our human education? Because the very definition of education has been changed. It is not for living peaceful life, but it has become, education has become tool for survival or tool for earning wealth. That has become the main objective rather than peaceful living, uh, peaceful coexistence, peaceful development. If I was telling you the intention, I don't think there is a really good intention with most of the politicians or most of the rulers or most of the rich and powerful people. Uh, there is, if there is intention with at least 50% of people, I think most of the wars can be controlled. After the Second World War, there was an uh, effort made with the creation of this United Nations. But Uh, there are a lot of loopholes, and with these loopholes, uh, and with totally wrong intentions, with not uh, honest intentions for uh, global development is not there. That is very clearly visible. I was listening to some news or something right now today. Uh, uh, there are 53 or 55 conflicts going around the world, and this United Nations is a mute spectator. United Nations, that means we all included, we are all mute spectators. But still, that effort was really good, and such effort should be done, and with more sincerity. Uh, uh, otherwise, uh, uh, otherwise, uh, there is pretension, and deep inside there are different kinds of intentions to plunder wealth. To plunder wealth, somebody has to suffer. Okay, let them suffer. For my gain, somebody has to die. Okay, kill them. What kind of mind it is? Oh, really, really, it is. Uh, if we think it is a horror, totally um, unfit for uh, human, human, human existence. I feel. How can we call ourselves human beings and still behave like this? So for us, okay, we have to live within these people, with the people um, uh, who have, they pretend, but really they don't have right intentions. So we have to understand this. And this is again uh, another mental state, just like anger and hatred, greed. This pretension is another mental state, negative mental state. So we have to be careful. Okay, we should not be allowed to exploit, or we should try to avoid as much as possible the harm that the people can bring. So, and another way of being calm is, of course, Lord Buddha's wonderful, powerful, very effective tools of Brahma Vihara, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekha. Loving kindness. When we spread loving kindness, uh, how much it affects others is a different matter, but certainly, immediately, it affects us. Mind becomes much more calm. At least there is no guilt feeling that I am contributing to somebody's suffering. I am contributing to happiness because my metta, my intention is uh, this uh, seeking um, seeking happiness of others. Karuna, compassion. So if we see uh, goodness, that is good. Metta, we can share metta and uh, wish for happiness of others. When we confront suffering, then we have to have karuna. How can I remove? If I can do something, we have to become proactive. Physically, if I can do something, verbally, if I can do something. If both are not possible, then at least mentally, oh, may they be free from suffering. At least that can I do. That much I can do. When we generate this thought again and again and again, somewhere it will start affecting uh, others' minds also. Uh, at least our minds are calm, and we become part of a solution. Uh, it may not be so effective, sometimes fully effective, sometimes half effective, sometimes no effective. But that karuna, that compassion is very, very powerful tool for our own calmness. Then mudita is feeling joy with the happiness of others. In one of the suttas, Lord Buddha was asked by none other than the Sakka Deva, why there is conflict, hatred, and everything, even though the people want happiness. So Lord Buddha says, because of jealousy, envy. Huh? So mudita removes this envy. You, instead of feeling jealous um, about somebody's wealth and success and happiness and comfort, we start feeling joyful, joyful, joyful. Oh, what a wonderful feeling. It is not that we have to be joyful only when we are happy. We can be joyful when others are happy. Then how many more opportunities we get. So this is another very practical way of being calm. And of course, there is upekha, because not everything will move according to our wish. And this suffering, this turmoil may continue, the situation may continue. So upekha, equanimity. And this upekha, Lord Buddha says, has to be based on wisdom. So we have to see through wisdom that kamma saka satta, all living beings are karma born, karma sustained, karma affected. So we are also, sometimes when we fall into difficult situation, it is not an accident, it is not somebody's curse. We are also equally contributing through our present or past actions. So we are also contributors for our own situation. And so we have to accept that, okay, I am also victim of my karma, my actions. The word is victim of these actions. So when we try to do something, but when it is not possible, we also have to understand this reality and patiently accept and let go, accept and let go. Like this, we can create a very joyful living, and with mindfulness, we can continue, sustain it in our life. So as much as we can sustain, that is our uh, success and achievement. So these are uh, some of the methods I feel, practical methods that we have to manage our calmness in these turbulent times. And of course, yes, we hear a lot and lot and lot. Maybe if we reduce our information input, that itself is already, I feel, lot of information we take which is not necessary, which is not useful, and it just, already there are infinite number of thoughts going on, and adding some more things to that makes things worse. So if we are choosy in what we put into our mind, uh, that can also help us to great extent for being calm. That means no need to listen and see hundreds of things, conflicts and all these things, unless there is strength to uh, face it, the enough compassion to see it, or enough equanimity to see it. If we don't have, then why to spoil our minds? Uh, so we also have to see how much we can take this information. So like this, these are some of the things, Bante. I think, I don't know if I have taken too much time. Uh, Maybe there is time for question answers. uh, I can't hear, Bante. Bante, I cannot hear you. What? इधर ये है क्या? On है क्या? Please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Bante. Now I can hear, Bante.
All right. So Thank you so much for this wonderful um, discussion. The topic itself was really um, timely. I think world today is, as you mentioned, there are quite a lot of conflicts in the world. I
Yes,
just checked out, like, as of May 2024, there were over 120 armed conflicts worldwide, involving more than 60 countries and 120 non-state armed groups. This is the highest number of conflicts since World War II, and 92 of these countries are involved in conflict outside their borders, the most since the GPI's inception. The majority of these conflicts are non-international, and their number has tripled since the beginning of the millennium. So this is quite a staggering number, right?
yes, Bhante. Yes,
Right. So yeah, there could be many reasons why do we have so many conflicts today. Political competition and authoritarianism, unresolved tensions and breakdown in the rule of law, scarcity of resources. We also have in Buddhism, right?
yes,
Uh, when the Dalidye Vepulangate, Panatipatang Vepulangagamasi, right?
yes,
The, the Adinadana, uh, all these things will increase when the scarcity of resources are there. And economic forces definitely can be a reason. Cultural dimensions and governance and politics, competition, imperialism, racism, all these things are part of this. Um,
yes,
this is really um, really dangerous. The unresolved regional tensions, the breakdown in the rule of law, absent or co-opted state institutions, illicit economic gain, and the scarcity of resources are exacerbated by climate change also. So I think,
Jeevan.
as you rightly mentioned, the Brahma Viharas can be a wonderful way to come out with this, um, come out as a you know wonderful solution. How if we can practice metta, karuna, mudita, upekha,
Yes,
right? So Bante, um, inner peace and turbulent in the world. I think in Buddhism we also call tadi, right? Equanimity. When there are many conflicts in the world outside, many breaking news in the world outside, and how do we maintain our inner peace? Uh, would you like to uh, explain a little bit how to maintain, uh, how can one cultivate and maintain inner peace in the midst of external chaos and turbulence?
yes, Bhante. Yeah, uh, these breaking news are not breaking news, but they are breaking peace.
Right, heartbreaking.
They are breaking peace of mind,
Right,
breaking word. They call it breaking news, and 99.9% are they are just breaking peace of mind and happiness. And and as I told you earlier, but that um, this information, how they are presented to us also, um, even though sometimes the problems are small, but they are made so big with breaking news titles. and sometimes they are very frightening. Anyway, uh, uh, we I feel we have to just prepare our minds, but um, uh, Thich Nhat Hanh, Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, uh, but they used to teach very simple method of this observing breath. I feel it is very, very effective if we keep on practicing. That is, come to breath all the time. And if we are even to answer a phone call, observe 3 breaths and then answer the phone call. Uh, Whatever we do before we start talking or before we start writing letter or before we uh, doing any work, observe 3 breaths and um, start the work. So this helps a lot even when we hear the news or the outside input when it is coming. As soon as we start hearing, feel the breath, feel the body, and feel that calmness. Uh, uh, Feel the calmness and then respond. Uh, Otherwise, either we become unhappy and keep suffering, and or we become unhappy and make others unhappy. So this mindfulness to look into our own strength, to look into what is the way that I can respond. Uh, the first response should be that of compassion. Oh, may these sufferings uh, be reduced and may these sufferings go away. I wish these suffering people happiness. Let there be good people, bad people, this and that, 100,000 arguments and judgments, the debates, they go on and on. Even if it is the worst fellow who is killed, who is harmed, we can say, oh, may that fellow also become wise person. May that person be free from suffering. So if we practice this, coming to breath and wishing metta and karuna, I feel that helps, that makes us strong enough uh, even to face any kind of difficulty. Even the worst people, if we are uh, quite adept in that, even the worst people coming and straight away blaming on us, shouting at us, even that we can uh, withstand. So this mindfulness practice with this calm breathing and uh, instant compassion thoughts, I feel Bhante is the best method to face this present news or present word or present people uh, in all fields.
Thank you so much. I think I had a similar instruction from Bhante Mahavini Ariyadhamma. He said, practice metta in such a way, like even when you take a phone call, just before answering the call, we don't know what really is happening the other side. So take a breath, as you
Yes,
mentioned, and send loving kindness to that person before starting, before responding to that call. That way, like both the breath and the kindness, loving kindness can really work
yes,
beautifully. First to maintain your own inner peace, and then also to send loving kindness to other people.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a very, very important thing because people don't have long breaths today. People have like short breaths.
yes,
They have more restlessness, and they find it very hard to take a good long deep breath and then pause for a while. And so I think the world needs it more. Well,
Yes,
that's
man.
a great signal. And isn't it like so important that the world leaders take some breath?
Yes,
Those people who are taking decision making people, in the political level, global level, and economic giants, and also religious leaders, social leaders, all of them, um, they need to think of this world, right?
yes,
Um,
Bhante.
they need to think of this world like the situation is precarious. Um,
Yes, Bhante.
right? So we do have a question from Dharmik. And this is, do conflicts between family members continue to next rebirths?
Conflicts between family members continue to next births. Yes, but uh, from the many incidences from Jatakas and from the Dhammapada um, e- events, we hear from Lord Buddha that they do continue. In fact, this very famous Dhammapada Gatha, Nahi vere na verani, sammanti da kudachanang, avere na cha sammanti esa dhammo sanantanam. Hatred is never appeased or removed by hatred. Hatred is removed by loving kindness alone. This is the eternal law. So Lord Buddha gave this teaching also because of this. These family members, they were hating, and so there are these two very powerful forces which bring us together as family members or as our community members or living together. The one force is the force of um, attachment with love and desire, and the another is attachment with anger and hatred. Hatred is very strong attachment force. To hate, though it is dislike, we have to hold something to dislike that. So when we dislike some person, we hold them very, very strongly to our hearts. Uh, for example, if you are angry with somebody, that fellow will come to the mind hundreds of times. The more angry you are, more often that person is coming again and again and again in your work time, in your sleep time, even in the dreams. So that is the attachment. Not it is not the problem with the other person. It is the problem with our own mind. It is holding on that person to hate and hate and hate. Another is holding on to desire to pull towards oneself, and this is to push outside. So these two forces, which are basically based on attachment, uh, they bring us together again and again, either to live peacefully, lovingly, nicely, or to keep fighting and fighting, harming each other. So this is the uh, background story of this Dhammapada Gatha. So that is one of the reasons why we come together with some people who are uh, some people who are very nice to us, some people who are very close to us, but they are not nice to us. But it doesn't matter who are near or far to us. Lord Buddha's beautiful teachings teach us to transform the worst of the people outside and the worst of the feelings that we carry within ourselves. So that transformation is possible. And Lord Buddha says in one of the suttas, because this transformation, this change, this progress is possible, I am teaching you this Dhamma. Otherwise, if it was just fated and if we have to flow according to the forces of karma all the time, then there is no use of Dhamma. because we can turn around totally. That possibility is there, just like a football player. When a ball is kicked, it is rolling and rolling and rolling with speed. It doesn't mean that it has to go in that same direction. Another player can touch and change the direction. Another player can even stop it. Another player can even stop and turn the direction totally. So in our life also it is possible. It doesn't matter if our close people are they had good relationships or bad relationships, but now we can transform them into wonderful, good relationships, and we can become uh, transforming agents, spiritual agents to each other to progress further. Sometimes we don't understand the nature of dukkha unless somebody or who is very close to us is really angry with us. So though that anger or though that uh, misunderstanding was not nice, that opens our heart. So we have to open our heart not to react, but to act in a positive way. And we can create this atmosphere of our family members, our colleagues, whoever we are working with, or the place where we are living in, all these things into a good place.
Thank you. That's so wonderful. I like that. Uh, um, the story of the football player. Yes. And Bante, there is another question from Ram. He asks, practicing Maranasati is very scary. Please advise.
Marana is scary for most of the people. Death is scary uh, because we don't know what happens after death. That is the main reason why death is scary. And another reason is we are very deeply attached to our bodies and our minds. And we think these things will be annihilated. These things we will be losing. That is the reason why death becomes scary. And to remove this fear, Lord Buddha has taught this Marananusati. So we can start with, we hear the news of people dying here and there. And so we can, in Marananusati, we don't need to see our own death. In the beginning, we can contemplate on the death of um, some famous people or very powerful people or presidents, kings, so powerful people. We can think, that person was there with all the power uh, at his disposal. Yet that person has died. That person was so rich with all the hospitals of the world at his disposal or her disposal. That person has died. So in Marnanusati, you can start with contemplating on these people or the people you know in your town or in your city, those who are not very closely connected. You can contemplate on them that they have passed away. This is the nature. Nobody is free from that. Then once you become okay with that, then come to nearer ones, your far relatives who have passed away. Uh, and then we can see our own death. Yes, I am also going to die. So if I develop this little bit of wisdom, little bit of understanding, and little bit of uh, good conduct, metta and good conduct, panchashila, then that fear goes away. Lord Buddha says, panchashila will remove fear of death and also the metta practice. At the time of dying, mind is so clear. So that also removes fear of death. So like that, to see the death of our close people and ourselves can be unpleasant and scary, but we can arrive to this by repeatedly contemplating on others who are far away. I feel that is one method maybe, but they can add.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think we need to think like we take around 16 breaths in a minute, an
Mhm.
average 20%. So
Yes, but
that should be around 920 breaths in an hour and around 23,000 breaths in a day. In a day. So it's like millions of them, like maybe 90 million something, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody lives like 80 years, that's so these breaths can be our last breath. We need to remember that.
yes, but
It's actually good to practice on this, present moment and breath, focusing on breath, and also practicing loving kindness to yourself and to others. That way, Marana will not be another special example. Like every day, like for example, in the night when we go to bed, we wake up in the morning, it's like a temporary death to us.
yes,
It's like 7, 8 hours, we don't know what happened
that,
to us.
yeah, yes,
So you already have experienced that. And also when you look at the sun in the morning, it's sunrise. And evening you see the sunset, death and birth and death. We see that. The flowers, when you offer to the Buddha, we see the fresh flower and then decaying. So we see that. Tuppha milayati yatha idam kayo tathayati vinasakam. Just as
yes,
the flower decays, so is our body. We also die. We don't live forever. So I think um, you can really concentrate on that right away, but you continue to practice on this, and that way, when that big day comes, you won't panic. You will be
yes,
able to die peacefully. People don't know, even want to talk about it, but actually, we die all the time.
Jeevan,
Right?
yes, but
Breathe in, it's like birth. When we breathe out, it's like death. And when we wink our eyes, open eyes is like birth. Closed
yes,
eyes is like
it's
death.
like that.
Every
Yes,
single
but
moment we can think of it, like the death is an indispensable part of our life.
Jeevan,
So that way, I think we don't really have to worry too much about the death, and death is definitely um, Marana is scary, but it's just another Marana. It's just another. Sometimes people want to live like little bit longer when you are old and you are sick, and you still want to live little bit longer, and you sometimes forget that when somebody is born again, as a fresh little baby, all the sickness is gone. You become a strong person, you become a healthy person.
yes, but
Right?
yes,
So
but
rather than trying to extend your life, maybe like let it go, that way.
yes,
As Bante mentioned, like when that strong football player kick the ball will go and then it will stop at some
yes,
point unless somebody
yes,
kicks again or
yes,
change the direction, the ball will stop. So is our life. We will not live forever. And that way we have to be good and we have to do good during our short span of life. And I think people are worried and people are scared because they feel like guilt. They feel like they haven't done enough. Uh, you know. So if you think like you are you continue to follow good deeds, then you don't really worry about that even. Yeah,
yes, but
you can practice metta as Bante mentioned. Then you will really feel comfortable even in uh, facing the day. Look at this wonderful comment by POKI. He says, "We can see inner peace of you, Bante, in your great smile." Yeah,
That is Bhante's blessings, Buddha's
Bante,
blessings. And
yeah. Bante Anand also means happiness,
yeah, the name is means happiness. Yes, Bhante.
right? So, Bante, there is another question by Buddha Sachin. He says, please explain about heart of loving kindness meditation to Nibbana.
Uh, this is loving kindness meditation can lead up to Nibbana. Um, in the beginning, we start with loving kindness as Lord Buddha has given us the methods that we start with ourselves. And then we go to our near and dear ones, then the medium ones, those who are not very close, not very far, and then very no, even the disliked people. So Lord Buddha told to meditate like this again and again and again. So what happens with this? A time will come when you uh, break the barriers. So the now we say, okay, these are my close and dear and near ones. I give more love to them, and somebody else far away, less love, and somebody unknown person. Oh, I don't care if that person is okay or not. So that will reduce and reduce and reduce. So a time will come when the near and dear ones and the others, there is no difference. So you break those barriers. A time will come when even the disliked person, as you go on doing like this, from your side, there will be no dislike or a hatred towards people. But there can be people who are harmful to you, those who have made some losses to you and created problems to you. Such people are there. Even to them, you will have metta. So even that barrier is broken. So this is step by step. So when you spread metta according to people and then according to the place where you are, and then your town, your state, your country, and ultimately to the whole world and the whole universe. Chakavala, Lord Buddha tells in metta, no, this Chakavala. All the Chakavala we spread metta in all directions. So then you break even more barriers, all kinds of barriers with uh, with the persons, human beings, and then with all other living beings, and then with all other even divine beings and lower beings and every being. There is just one metta. Your loving kindness is so strong, and then uh, you don't feel that you have to give metta to yourself separately and to others. You put yourself into that crowd of all beings, and then you break barrier between yourself and others. So when you reach that metta, the mind is so absolutely encompassing and so calm, and all barriers are broken. Just it is metta touching every living being. So that is a very good state, a very powerful state uh, uh, of calmness, of concentration, of very good practice for samatha. Even if you don't go into vipassana, even that samatha is so powerful and effective to so many people. You can give metta and help many people to overcome their difficulties. Now, with that calm mind, then as we go uh, deeper, With that calm mind, we contemplate on our body. And as we see, this body is completely encompassed with metta, the vibrations of metta. Now, as you see the how this body is, um, how the body is functioning, uh, it is nothing but a mass of matter, the mass of material uh, uh, particles, just vibration, 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 very subtle vibration with very, very uh, peaceful mind. Because of that metta, there is so peace. And with that metta, you also have broken all the barriers. So there is feeling of I, mine, that is also broken to great extent. So then it is easy to see the matter, the feelings, the what sensations are going on, these very pleasant, subtle sensations. And then we start observing this impermanence of matter, and then observing impermanence of mind. So as you see, mind and matter, nama rupa paricheda and pachaya, and their anicca dukkha anatta. When that becomes clearer, then we have already nicely slipped into the path of insight, developing our wisdom deeply. So the basis was this metta. So like that, with these insight meditations, we can reach our ultimate goal.
Vishal, Vishal. Thank you so much. I think that's very, very helpful too. So I think in the Karaniya Sutta also it is said, right? Uh, whether standing, walking, sitting or lying down, as long as
Yes,
one
Bhante.
this mindfulness should be developed. This, the
Yes,
wise
Bhante. Yes.
say, is the highest conduct here. And if you
Yes.
continue to, yeah, if you continue to practice metta like this, and then not embracing false view, dittincha anupagamma silava,
Silava. Yes, Bhante.
virtuous silava, endowed
Yes.
with insight, dasanena sampan, giving up attachment to sense desires,
Yes.
kamesu vidya gedham. Indeed, such a person
Nahi
does not come again for repeated becoming. Nahi jatu gabhasayam punareti.
Punareti.
Yeah. So practicing metta will find the final goal when it comes to the last stanza of the Karaniya Metta Sutta. I think this is also a beautiful way how
Yes,
we
Bhante.
can really practice loving kindness and then remove these false views, michabhiti, and then have the right view and then also get rid of these sensual desires, and that's it.
Yes, Bhante.
And you
So wonderful, Bhante.
can go to Nibbana.
Yes, Bhante.
Thank you so much, dear Bante Ananda, for this wonderful, insightful session today. I think just um, before ending this discussion, maybe we can explain a little bit how does Buddhism explain the nature of suffering in the world, and how can understanding this help us achieve inner peace. Would you like to say a few words about this?
This is Lord Buddha was so compassionate, and when he found these uh, uh, noble truths, Arya Satcha, this is the very nature. Suffering is not something special. That is the very nature of the world in many senses. Um, Lord Buddha explains that. Uh, as the Buddha tells in the very first discourse, uh, it begins with birth, uh, old age, sickness, death. These are not pleasant things. So these These all things put us into suffering. They create inner fear, worries, and even the thought of these situations of life make us suffer. When we confront them, of course, we suffer. But when we even think about them, already we suffer. And to be with unpleasant people and to go away from pleasant people. And if we see deeply, there is this unsatisfactoriness. Whenever there is greed, that is the very clear indication that I am not satisfied. Whenever there is hatred, I don't like, that also shows that I am not satisfied. So uh, this greed and hatred, wanting and not wanting, and these likes and dislikes, these reactions, which are going on and on and on, they create our wishes. Uh, but those wishes don't get fulfilled. Lord Buddha says that is also suffering. Uh, MP ichhang na labhati, whatever we wish, and we don't get it because our wishes are based on greed or hatred and not with wisdom. So uh, those things, when they are not fulfilled, dissatisfaction arises. So this unsatisfactoriness, dissatisfaction, that state of mind, that is suffering. It is not just deep when we are having pain and sadness, not just that, even slight dissatisfaction is state of suffering. And in this world where everything is changing and changing, body is changing, mind is changing, and we hold on to them. Oh, this is I, this is mine. I want it to remain like this, but it changes. So that is the deepest level of suffering that is going on. Uh, Moment to moment, we create this notion of I am somebody, or I own something, and that is mine. But these I and mine are unfortunately going away. They are just like flash, they pass away. And then we are not wise enough to see that, so we fall into suffering. So Lord Buddha explains this very clearly from very gross level to the subtle level, how this suffering is affecting our lives. So uh, this understanding of this is so important. In the name of overcoming suffering, people tell us to run away from suffering. People teach us to hide from suffering. That is not the solution. Lord Buddha says, uh, understanding, it has to be parinyayan, it has to be understood, it has to be comprehended. The more you understand, you see any problem that comes, if you face it head on, it loses its strength. You can overcome easily. The more problems and you run away from problems, the problems multiply and multiply. So Lord Buddha tells to comprehend, to look into that suffering. You may not find solution immediately, but at least you know, this is the problem, you know deeply, and this is the nature, and there is acceptance. When there is acceptance, there is already peace of mind. This is the reality, this is the reality. Now I can do like this, like this, like this. There is a way out. Lord Buddha teaches the fourth noble truth, to get out of it. Lord Buddha didn't tell us to remain in that suffering. His whole mission was to bring us out of that suffering. Here is the way. Sometimes the ways are quick. Quickly we can overcome. Sometimes they take little time. So like that, we can clearly understand. So deeply understanding suffering, we also find the way to overcome that. And in between this process, mind is calm because we are on the job, on the right job, what to do. I feel so, Bhante.
Thank you so much. So wonderful, Bante. And with that, we would like to actually conclude today's session. Thank you, Bante Anand, for leading us through such an insightful and inspiring session on inner peace in a turbulent world. Your wisdom and guidance have provided us with valuable tools and perspectives to cultivate calm and resilience in our daily life. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who joined us online and contributed their thoughtful questions. Your engagement and curiosity enrich this discussion and help deepen our collective understanding. So, thank you, Maria, Poonam, Dharmika, Oihua, and Priyangi, Lakmali, Biswajit, Ramya, and uh, Amulya Dan Chakma, and Poonam, and also Buddhas, Prabhu Meheni, Theokea, and uh, yes. And thank you all for joining us today and making this event a great success. I also would like to invite everyone uh, actually not only supporting. Special thanks to all of you who have supported and followed Dhamma USA on YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Your support is essential in helping us share the teachings of the Buddha and build a community grounded in mindfulness and compassion. So please help us share this wonderful session with your friends and with your groups so that they can also be benefited. May the peace and wisdom we explored today continue to guide us in our lives. We look forward to seeing you at our next session. And with that, I would like to invite Bante Anand to say a few words and then conclude with a chanting.
First of all, I would like to pay homage and thank Sumita Bhanteji and giving me this opportunity to. I always say uh, teaching is the best way of learning. So when uh, I am teaching, I learn a lot, and it gives a lot of insights and clarity for myself. So I'm very grateful to Bhante and your Dhamma USA team, Bhante, for giving this opportunity, and all the participants. Thanks a lot. And we have this very, very precious teachings of Buddha, and we have this very precious opportunity to listen and practice. And with forums like Dhamma USA, um, many wonderful Dhamma teachers appear on Dhamma USA programs. So it is such enriching platform, and I wish more and more people take benefit of this. And my deep gratitude goes to Lord Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, all the great uh, disciples of the Buddha, from chief disciples till our times. So many monks, bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, upasaka, upasikas who have practiced, preserved, and brought this Dhamma to our times. And anybody who has helped, deep gratitude to them. May we all share the merits and keep growing on the path of Nibbana Bhante. Thank you very much once again.
Would you like to lead the short chanting?
Chanting Bhante.
Yes.
Sukhi bhaveyang nidukho ahang nichang ahang viya hitacha me sukhi hontu majjata chataverino imam higamakhetam hi satta hontu sukhi sada tato parancharajesu chakavalesu jantuno sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Thank you so much. With that, we conclude and looking forward to seeing you again on next Sunday. Thank you, Bhante. Thank you.